Alright, here we go here. Alright, just gonna make sure. Look for your headlights, see which way that we're pointed. Smash them. Hey! It's one of my favorite jokes. It was hey. That's when I knew that I had come into my own in the world of dad jokes. The first time that we were driving down the interstate in Oklahoma and I shouted hey and pointed out the window and just laughed and laughed and laughed, and I knew at that point that I had entered the world of dad jokes and there was no turning back. Hey! Do it again. Now I'm going to hit turbo, but get that money. I guess since it's only 10,000, it's kind of a break even, but if I can get the next money bag, it'll be 20,000. Stereo. I really want to get that nitro, but I got old Blue on my tail here, as opposed to Old Yeller. We know how to get rid of Old Yeller. Yeah, this is not, I would say, all that dissimilar. I like how my guy, I don't know what, it's just the color, but the red one kind of looks like a mail delivery hat. The silver one looks like a hard hat. All right. All right, let's just start working on top speed. Okay, now this is a hard one because it's very easy to get knocked on the other side of these barrels and then you get screwed up. So you just got to pay attention to being where you're supposed to be. Ugh. That. And then again, what's the rule, kids? Second place is good enough. Sometimes third place is good enough too. If I could cut that, well, just can't cut that tight enough to get that money, 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 money. Daddy needs some money. So if I let off the gas there we go. Do, 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 do. I might have a chance at first place here, or third. Boom! What's up, Mr. Logbook? How you doing? Yeah, see, I got a hat. That guy almost looks like a safari hat. And the blue one kind of looks like a butt. Let's see, $170,000. If you had $170,000, what would you do with it? I could tell you what I would not do. Would be buy tires for my monster truck. But oh man, I'm almost out of turbos. Gotta get that, keep that nitro refilled. Yeah, this truck is kind of a, like I said, it's not quite like driving on the moon, but it's not far from. Now this is one of the arcade games that I owned. Oh, where did I go? Oh no, 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 no. This is not going to be good. Now all of a sudden we're in a crisis mode. We got to get up to some third place in a hurry. No more time for talkie-talkie in the truck. Come on. All I need is third place. Just get me around Old Yellow there. There we go. There's third. There's second. That's all Daddy needs. Stay off. Now I need that silver guy to win. There we go. Golly. Yeah, wouldn't that be great if you could take the money from this and roll it into other games that use money? Of course, you could do some pretty good ghost busting in a monster truck anyway. You would seriously not be afraid of no ghosts in one of these trucks. Whew, that was, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to finish off my tires, get some nitro. All right. At some point, I'm going to get to the level that I told you that always kills me, and then it's just a matter of luck. It's the, oh, well, there's a good start. I always love imagining like if video games were real, you know. And they're off at the races, and one guy's going the wrong way. What is that guy doing? I'd like to swing wide and get that nitro. But it's a little too close right now. There we go. Now, let's do that. And the thing is, even if it's hard to get it the first time, we know that like the next time there's a nitro, there'll be 2 nitros, and the next time it'll be 3 nitros if you get it a third time. So it multiplies. Like, I really want to get that money, but of course she's going to get that. We'll take that. We will take that. So I did have Super Off-Road. I bought it, I believe, for $150 at an auction, which was worth it for the monitor alone. It had a big, giant 25-inch monitor. I think it had a high-res monitor, too, which is different than what a lot of the classic games had. And it also had a track pack built in, which was a bunch of additional tracks. So it was definitely a good deal. And I believe, I just can't remember if that's one of the games that I took to Arcadia or not. I don't remember. I have pictures of the load of the trailer full of games that I took to Arcadia in Arkansas. So I don't remember if that was one, but I could definitely check the pictures. So, I had this hang-up that I've talked about for a long time, which was I never wanted Nintendo. I only wanted... oh boy, that's going to be bad. Okay. Because you couldn't pirate Nintendo stuff. I couldn't pirate Nintendo stuff, you know. But with the Commodore, I could download games and stuff. So I wasn't interested in consoles, you know. And then I heard that there was a device. Yeah, let's just do that. There was a device that would allow you to play. Well, first of all, I started seeing ROMs show up on BBSs, but I didn't know how to play them. I didn't have emulators. This was, you know, there was NES stuff, but Super Nintendo ROMs started coming out, you know. And so I went to HoHoCon, which was a hacker convention that was organized by guys from the Cult of the Dead Cow. It was put on in Texas, and I drove down there. This was New Year's Eve, 1994. And while I was at the conference, in between speakers, they had some different stuff set up on the podium, you know, for, oh, shoot, fire. Oh, boy. Well, let's see if I could, let's see. Oh, okay, I could still continue. So I could continue at this point with this poorly drawn dude. I never did like that drawing. There's something off a little bit about that drawing. So I could continue, but I will lose some of my upgrades. Let's see what I've lost. I've lost that. I've lost some of that. Let's put some tires back on and go. Now, there's after a certain level, I forget what it is. I don't know what race I'm actually on, but there's a certain point where after you reach it, you just can't continue anymore. So anyway, I'm at this hacker convention, and they're standing at the podium, and they're waiting for another speaker, and they had an overhead projector, and I saw them demonstrate a console copier, which is the early console copiers were basically a disk drive that had a cartridge port on the bottom. Well, the male end of a cartridge on the bottom, and then the female part on the top. And so basically what you would do is plug this thing into a Super Nintendo or a Sega Genesis, and then you could, oh, look at that, making a comeback. Don't call it a comeback. I've been driving for years. And you could load and save games from floppy disks. And so when I saw that, I was like, that is the most amazing thing. And so I immediately, of course, this is 94. Well, let's see. Yeah, this is 94. So I just discovered the internet, but it wasn't World Wide Web yet, right? It was just, you know, text-based IRC and stuff like that, FTP. And so when I found that, I found this this email. How fast did they load from floppy? I mean, it might take... Well, of course, it depended on the size, right? Because Super Nintendo games were measured in megabits, right? And floppies are megabytes. So you could have up to, I think, 32, does that sound right? Megabit game, which would be, you divide by 8. So it would be 4 megs. So you could span it across 3 floppies. So each floppy would take, I don't know, 20 seconds, you know. So, I mean, it would take less than 2 minutes, a minute to 2 minutes, depending on the size of the game. You know what? Hang on. I may have a console copier. Nope, I carried them all out to the garage the other day. Every time I'm trying to consolidate like things, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to get like consoles in one area, cartridges in one area, and getting things. So whenever I find stuff, I move them around. So I think I moved those out to the garage. But anyway, so the only place I could find one, if you've heard of the old Kraken group Fairlight had teamed up with someone to do the Super Wild Card. So if you've ever seen Super Nintendo ROMs that end in SWC, that was Super Wild Card. That means they were dumped with that console copier. And so anyway, long story short, I found a BBS and it said, if you want to order one, make out a money order, which a money order is like cash. Make out a money order and mail it to this address, and it will be shipped from Hong Kong, and it should arrive in 8 to 12 weeks. So literally, I mean, as in 94, I was 20, 21. Is that right? No, not even. Yeah, 21. And so, you know, I was working at Best Buy, and then I took $300, bought a money order, which is like cash, put it in an envelope in hopes that something would arrive in 2 to 3 months. And lucky for me, it did. And that was the start of Super Nintendo for me. After that, I was just downloading games like crazy and playing them on Super Nintendo. Now, let me see. We were just talking about the Amiga demos. And, of course, we talked about... I don't like this one. It's the wrong ratio. Let's try this one. I like this one here. So this was the other Amiga demo. I'm sure everybody has seen this, but first was Boeing, and then was the Amiga Juggler, which there's a whole story behind it. If you've never heard the story or read it, I think it's on Wikipedia. But the guy who made this, it was not Amiga, it was not Commodore or anybody associated. It was just a guy who started doing ray tracing, and he basically rendered this and showed it, and they didn't believe him. They didn't believe that he had done it, and he had to show them the code and stuff like that. They just couldn't believe, that he had done something like that. Did I ever mess with Cult of the Dead Cow's most famous program's back orifice? Yes. Not to the extent of like messing with random people, but I certainly played with it. You know, that was at a time where everybody was like exploring the security of their own computers. At least that's what I was doing, you know, and everybody was setting up networks. And like I remember one time I was at work and I wanted to remote to my home computer, and you could literally do a UNC path and just do like / IP address $C$ across the internet and get to a remote machine. And so, I mean, this is around that same time. This is probably 96, 95, 96. And I had done that, and I started looking at my files, and it wasn't my machine. It was someone else's machine. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like I don't know why I never even thought of that, you know? And this is true. What I ended up doing was mapping across the network to their printer, and I printed out a thing that said, hey, you need to unshare your C drive. I'm logged into your computer. Back for a first 2000 launch. I'm trying to see if I can find what I was looking for here. This is the behind the scenes. Oh. These are all behind the scenes presentations. I was looking for the big launch party that they had, but that was before, you know, so it was funny, before I knew a lot of those guys, it was funny that I had, like when I went to HoHoCon and I was like sending these little messages, hey, what's up, JP? New follower. We started playing off-road here, and I got sidetracked by telling old hacker stories, which is the story of my life. All right, let's get upgrade this bad boy and put some shocks on here. But I was, you know, just so starstruck at, God bless America. Let's start driving the right way. This is actually an easy track to catch up on because there's so many straightaways, which nitrous works good on. But I was so starstruck, and I have in a spiral notebook somewhere, I had sent, I passed a note. I passed my notebook over to Death Veggie and was like, hey, how can I contact the cult or something like that? And he wrote down the main BBS phone number, which is funny now. I mean, because now I talk to him all the time on, oh no, turbo. Did I get past him? You're never able to get on live, only a replay, but now have it set up correctly. Well, if you have all the stuff for watching streams and doing streams set up correctly, you are one ahead of me, good sir, because everything I do seems to go off the rails here. But yeah, you know, back before you were talking about being able to net send, I mean, we had that problem everywhere, you know, and oh gosh, that's part of the problem when you try to cut corners. Literally cutting corners and figuratively cutting corners are both bad in the world of monster truck racing. There was no firewall, you know, basically at the router. So if your stuff was shared, it was shared. It was wide open, which was basically a whole different story, but it was part of how my website got hacked, my original website, because I was hosting it at the house. I'd installed, hey Darren, what's up, my friend? I installed this is so stupid. I had a server at my house, which was also a domain controller. And then I had installed IIS on it to host my website. So there was a vulnerability where you could transverse, you know, directories on IIS because I hadn't patched IIS. And then they got into my domain control. It was a huge mess. I had to reload everything I owned. It was really, really bad. And the only good thing about that whole hack was I mean, they had access to every single thing I owned. I mean, like every family photo, everything, and they could have deleted it all, and they didn't. And they were, instead they just publicly shamed me, which was a little embarrassing at the time, but it would have been worse to lose every family photo I owned. So I'll take the public shaming. And then I learned lessons like, I learned lessons like don't try to cut too soon under a barrel. No, I learned you don't host websites on your domain controller. That was a good lesson. The funny thing is, a lot of quote-unquote security professionals are not security professionals. They're just people that have access to better tools than you or I have, So, like, we talked about this the other day when I was doing security scans and audits. I didn't know anything about. I mean, I did, but I didn't have to know. It wasn't like I was doing stuff manually. The tools did it all, and then I just wrote reports. So, I see a lot of times these hackers go after the guys doing security audits, and I always think it's probably not that. It's probably a pretty soft target. Although I don't talk about it too much because I don't want to make myself, because I'm a pretty soft target. In the Pillsbury Doughboy sense. All right, let's go. Everybody have a good Christmas? Did people get... I'm kind of past the age where it's about me, what I got for Christmas. It's more about what my kids got for Christmas. And I'm almost at the age where my kids are 15 and 19. And so, there was a day when it was like, hey, what do you want for Christmas? And they're like, I want this toy and I want this game. And my son was like, he wanted 2 different hard drives. He wanted a faster, he wanted like a 4 terabyte storage drive. And he wanted an SSD, and he wanted some sort of MIDI interface kind of thing. I don't know. It just, and not that, you shouldn't get what you want, for Christmas or whatever, but it's not, you get to a certain point where it feels less like, these are fun things that Santa's bringing you, and more like, well, here's a shopping list. I need to upgrade my computer so I can keep doing school stuff or whatever, I don't know if one path is faster than the other. It's probably, since I'm in last place, one is probably faster. Probably whichever one. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna die. It keeps forcing me into that path. The PC Engine Mini. How is that thing? I haven't got to play around with one of those yet. I've got a few of the minis. I've got the PlayStation Mini. What else do I have? Of course, I have the C64 Mini. God, look at all this stuff. They just took all my stuff. It's like you lose a race and then the Tusken Raiders come over and just raid your camp, and they're like, they took acceleration off my truck. Like, that doesn't seem fair. Like, if you lose, they should feel bad for you and give you things, not come in and steal your engine. I just discovered, I'll probably get the names wrong, but one of them is called Me TV and the other one is something else. And they're in a section of cable channels that I don't normally check. They're not with all my other normal channels. And they just show retro TV shows like 24/7. Come on, get the money, get out of that corner. And I turned it on the other day, and they were showing a marathon of Chips. And it was an episode where there was a bunch of criminals, and they were robbing high-performance cars. And in the same episode, the Highway Patrol had sponsored a car, and so they had stole their carburetor and some other stuff, and so they had to track them down, and eventually at the end they were in a high-speed chase with they weren't funny cars, but you know what I mean, like souped up track cars and stuff. And I was like, God, I love this show. I love Chips, which is a little early for me. I know Chips is like mid-late 70s, and so I was a little kid the first time around. I remember it, but I wasn't a big deal for me. But yeah, you know, sometimes those minis are a good way, you know, talking about the PC Engine, they're a good way to get exposed to a new system, right? I mean, emulation can be hit or miss with some systems. Hey, Jizz, I didn't see you sneaking in there. Yeah, I knew you had the Turbo Duo, and you know, EverDrive is obviously the way to go if you're still running on original hardware. You know, you would pay for a channel that only shows retro game shows. Well, here it is. Just pretend like this is your TV, and I will send you a bill at the end of every month. Chips and Airwolf. Oh, no, this is the level. I've never figured this level out. I've never figured out a path. Like, it's like pinball. Like, I turn that way, and I turn this way, and sometimes I make it through, and now I'm going the wrong way. I mean, I know there's got to be a path through this, and now I'm behind, so now I really need to be doing turbo. Yeah, I've never figured out a good way. I don't even know where I am now. Oh, there, I'm up there. Yeah. This is the worst level. I don't know who designed. I mean, it's literally like being on a pinball machine. I hate that level. It's the worst. And then, like I said, you can keep continuing until you reach a certain level. And once you reach that level and I die on that track, then it's all over. So usually, if I have enough nitrous or nitro, maybe I should start investing in shocks. I don't know. But that level is the worst, man. I hate that level. This is a pretty easy one. Just, again, like a lot of them, just hug the inside. And we come back with our Seinfeld bass. There we go. Oh, turboed right past it. And then this is going to be a matter. So this is where I'll use a turbo to try to. Oh, shoot. The problem is, once you play this long enough, which is where I'm at now, it's now player 2, the blue guy, also now has turbos, and he'll start using them over and over. I'm out of turbos. You have an original PC Engine Speedstar, bought it. It's Super Potato. Oh, wow. Games are expensive. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely, you know, a niche kind of system, and buyer's market for sure. No, seller's market for sure. All right, now this is one where you got to pay attention because normally you think you're going right. You know, I liked, as we're talking about things that make me feel nostalgic, you know, and of course we talked about pixelized graphics, you know. Is this genre, and it's not genre, but this style of music, you know, I mean, it almost kind of sounds MIDI, but you could say like mod, tracked, whatever you want to call it. But that was, you know, just the best. I mean, like once you got to PlayStation and they started, and I'm not dogging PlayStation, there's a lot of PlayStation games I like, PS1 games, but once you could put, you know, I mean, when I got Tony Hawk and I was like, oh, this has songs that I know on it, it has songs I like this style of music, you know, Like, why would you have to do it? You could just record regular digital music, you know. What do we want to do here? I mean, I feel like I need top speed. I need some acceleration. Let's go acceleration. A little nitro. This one sucks, and so what I normally do is let everybody go, and I follow them to see which way you're supposed to go. Because this one changes depending on where the numbers are. Alright, so that's what we're doing. We're going around that one, and back down. So now, let's work on passing some people. Come on, dump truck. Not to be confused with a dump truck. It's just a dump truck. Oh, here comes the big stereo moment. Get your headphones on, get ready. Then at a certain point, once you get ahead of the 3 and 4, then you're like, come on, win, dude. Oh no, I went around that the wrong way. God bless it. Mine 4th, yep. I feel like it's coming to an end here for me. Oh no, I guess I went the right way. I thought I went the wrong way through that. When I see that sweet red hat and that mustache, you know that I'm a winner. Man, I hate to go into it with so few nitros. Alright, let's do... Alright, let's do another acceleration. Okay. I think Pinback left us, and the problem was that the truck was sponsored by Pinback, so he took all his good tools with him, and now my truck's a piece of crap. Pinback, come back! Oh no. This game is available on a lot of different systems. This game is available on the Amiga. Oh my gosh, hold on, something amazing is happening in the chat. Something big and purple. Okay, that sounds gross. Alright, hang on. I hear big cheers, there's things going on. Alright. Well, it was so exciting that you killed me. That's funny. Alright, hang on. We're gonna come back. We're gonna come back. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Look at this. Holy camole. I'm rich. Hopefully all these bits can buy me a new truck. Thank you, good sir. Look at that. Alright. I don't know how to... I need to learn more about Twitch. I'm sort of learning, and I'm getting there, and I know I made the emoji for Mr. Moon Pie, and I really wanted it just for everybody to be able to have it, but I don't know if you have to pay something, but that's not my intention. My intention is not to make people have to pay something to get the Mr. Moon Pie emoji. Mr. Moon Pie is a friend to all. And then I added a bunch of sounds that you're supposed to be able to play, and I did a whole bunch of work. They're all from Cloak and Dagger. And then I don't know what happened to them. Like, I tried to upload them, and something for you. Something happened. All right. All right. Well, your name is going on the side of the truck, sir. I'm scraping off Pinback's name, and your name is going on it. Is it? You'll have to tell me. Is it euphalizer? Ophalizer? Everybody else's name comes off the truck. There's a Mr. Moon Pie emoji. Gotcha. Alright, well, your name... Just imagine that the back of this truck I'm driving just has your name all the way across the tailgate. Sponsored by... I'm scraping off the... sponsored by O'Reilly's Auto Parts in Copenhagen. Snuff on my 4x4 truck here. Okay, search for emotes. No. Oh, I can't. Where is it? Oh, well, now I don't know where to find it. Alright. Keep going, baby. Well, that's the other problem that I've had is once I open things, I can never seem to close them in the chat. There we go. I feel like Twitch and YouTube streaming and some of these things are kind of like handing, and I don't mean this towards anybody else, I just mean it towards myself, is like giving a machine gun to a monkey. Like, I just feel like I shouldn't be able to just, oh crap, can I go this way? I feel like I just cut and I shall be punished for doing that. Yeah. Oh, no, he went that way. So I guess you could go either way. I just need to pick somebody and follow him. I'm going to follow that dude. And then I literally said I was going to follow somebody, and then I didn't follow him. Listen to that 16-bit guitar. Wah, wah, wah. I'm the same way. You know what? I bought a bunch of bits when I first got on Twitch, and I think I gave them all away on the first day. I was like, oh well. It's more fun to give them away than sit on them, right? Oh, you know what I forgot about? I forgot my hot chocolate that I made earlier. Oh, which is not as hot. This is a... let's see what the date on this is. Walt Disney Company. I'm sure it's not as old as I think it is. Incorporated, Aladdin. I don't see a date on here, but it's very 80s. Look at this Mickey logo. I saw this at a garage sale. There's a garage sale in my neighborhood, and oh, thanks. Well, you know what? Subscribe if you want, but a follow is just good for me, so that you know whenever I'm streaming and stuff. But so I was at a garage sale. I was right by my house, and I walked up, and they had this thermos, and they didn't have the lunchbox. And I'm just blessed with the ability to have awkward conversations with people. So I go up there and I was like, oh, wow, look at this thermos. And so I picked it up, and then it was like, you know, a middle-aged lady. And then she goes, oh, and then I go, oh, do you have the lunchbox to go with it? And she goes, no. Are you a fan of Mickey Mouse? And I go, no. And now... So now I've introduced the awkwardness, right? Because she's like, well, then why did you... I mean, she's just thinking this, I'm sure. Why did you ask if I have it? But I, you know, it's not that I like Mickey Mouse. It's that I like vintage lunchboxes, you know? So, and then the worst part was, you know, it's a lady in my neighborhood. So I'm sure she never sees me. But, you know, now when I drive by their house, like when I come home and then I drive by the house, and I'm like, oh, she probably thinks I'm a weirdo. But, oh well. You know what? There are people that know me a lot better than her that also think I'm a weirdo, so I'm okay with that. All right. Again, what's the goal in life? Second place is good enough. My daughter plays trombone in the school band, which she always gets mad because I always say slide trombone, and she's like, There's no difference. All trombones are slide trombones. Don't say slide trombone. Just say trombone. But anyway, they do the thing where, you know, they play and then they, I guess, get awarded a chair based on how they do. First chair, second chair, you know. And she got first chair, and all these kids are like talking about her, and you know, they're coming for her, they're gunning for her, they're gonna practice hard, and they're gonna take her first chair, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, yeah, see, if you're second chair, I mean, who cares? You sit in second chair, then they're not all talking about you, and they're not just easier. Second chair is easier. You know what? Nobody in a race is like, you know who I want to take out? That guy that got second place last week. It's all right. Second place is good enough. Your parents do more stuff on the phone than you. You know what? I'm so bad. Why am I going the wrong way? Where did I go wrong here? Oh boy. Well, get ready for more death. You know, when people constantly send me stuff, like links and stuff on my phone, you know, and I'll be like, oh, okay, and then I will email the link to myself so that I can watch it on my computer, or, you know, download stuff or whatever. Like, I just, I don't know. For me, the phone is like if I'm not near a computer, it's all right. And you know what? I might pull out. Nope. I was going to say I might pull out third place, and then I just did a donut in reverse. Maybe I could get. I don't know if I'm third. I might be. Look at. Yeah. Okay. I'd be. Got my sweet racing suit on, my collar out, my butt hat on. Got the sweet lady at my side there. Why are you so sweaty? Because I've been driving a monster truck. Don't give me no lip. Bring me some champagne so I can spray bottles of champagne. See, this is like one of those levels where you're like, where am I supposed to be going? So I think I could just, I mean, it may not be the fastest route, but I think I could just stay on the outside, lap the whole time. Throw in an occasional nitrous there. See, I'm in second right now. And when he turbos, I'll turbo. Ladies and gentlemen, on the bass, Mr. Seinfeld. It'd be funny if Kramer played the bass. Yeah. I saw a funny tweet the other day, and it was I'm sure it was just a meme, and it said, my grandma telling everybody I can fix her phone because I changed the brightness. I thought, yeah, I'm sure you've all been there. I've been there. I don't mind doing tech support. Of course, I don't do regular tech support. Oh, here we go. Get ready for death. It's like the pinball of the Southwest. All right. I just wish there was one clear path. Like if you could just stay on the inside or on the outside. I hate this level. It's like pinball where sometimes you just hit the things and you don't bounce off. You just dead end into them. If I could... I mean, I don't have any nope. Oh, wait a minute. Hey, yellow guy was in fourth? Oh, guns are firing. All right. I'll take that as a win on that level. Like, I don't need second. I just don't want last. 50,000 will not buy you a lot in this game, Chicken Hawk. Start next race. I would like to. What are we doing here? Can I just hang on the outside? Seems like it so far. Alright. Okay. We'll battle for second here in a little bit. Oh, it's the stereo track. If you got those headphones on, be ready. I guess you could probably hear it if you got regular speakers. Doesn't even play. He won before we got to the stereo thing. Yeah, tilt. No kidding. Oh, subscribed at tier 1. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Did it play cool stuff? Look at that. All right. So what you should do, if you put 1 cent into this channel, you should send me a message and tell me what you want me to play later this week. Let's see what it's today. Sunday. I'll definitely be streaming Wednesday. Probably some Commodore 64 stuff. Next week is the new episode of Sprite Castle, and I don't have a game picked. So if you have some game you would like to see that I haven't already done, then maybe I will feature that next week on the podcast. I also have a new feature for my 16-bit Patreon. So I have 2 Patreon levels. The 8-bit, which is $4 a month, and the 16-bit supporters, which is $10 a month. And I've added a new reward for the $10 a month guys where they get to ask a question and I will answer it on the show. And the question that I have waiting for me for the next episode is, what are your top 10 Commodore 64 games? That's a tough one, man, because, I mean, there's always those games that are like fighting for first place, you know? And then Elite's probably in the top 10, would be there. I would like to think Skate or Die is probably in the top 10, even though I've played it recently and it's not as good as I remember. But I mean, it's good, you know. Paradroid's in the top 10. Uridium might be in the top 10. Bard's Tale is probably in the top 10. I don't know. There's just different ones that once you get to a certain point where you go, you know, then they're like, there's a bunch of ties, you know. Then at that point it just, okay, so let's, okay, the numbers are the same here, so let's get up here, go around number 2, straight down to number 3, and then up, and I think you always stick to the outside, if that's true. Yep, okay, well, not, there we go, okay. You know, then I mean, there's probably 100 games tied for 7 through 10. You know, I mean, you think of games like Lode Runner. Lode Runner is a classic freaking game on any system. So then do you go, well, is that my favorite Commodore 64 game, or is that just a great game? I would put Jumpman in that category. You know, Jumpman, great game. I first played it on PC Junior. And then moved to Apple. Oh no, Commodore 64, you know. Any text adventures in the top 10? That's a tough one, man. That is a tough question. You know, the thing is that I always played like, I didn't play as many text adventures on the Commodore 64 because of that 40-column text, you know? So, gosh, that's a tough one. And I'm thinking more of, like, if I were to put one up there, it'd probably be the Pawn, you know? Just because it has that mixture of graphics and text, you know? You played Elite on the CD32. It's so good. I have a NTSC CD32 sitting right behind me over here. I'm getting ready to sell it, I think, just because I don't play it that much, and I'm trying to. I want to buy a Mister in the new year, and I'm trying to figure out ways to pay for the Mister without it coming out of my pocket, you know. And literally, I think I could sell the NTSC CD32 for about the same price as what a Mister costs. So I think that's the route that I'm going to take. But I mean, that is a great version of Elite. No, you don't. Don't get past me, you truck. There we go. If I could get past this guy, it would be an easy 50 grand. But if I spend 50 turbos to do it, then it wouldn't be worth it. But I only spent 3 turbos to do it. Legends seems like an underrated game on that platform. I don't know that I've played Legends. I played Legends of Lore. Let's see here. Where are we at now? You know what? Let's top up the acceleration. We'll save a little money. Alright, let's see how this is going here. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do this. Even though it's so early in the race, it doesn't seem like it would hurt. It did not hurt. If I could swing wide, there's 30,000 I've picked up. I should be able to make up that time, probably even without any nitros. Now, oh, I missed it. Now let's see if I can pick it up this time. Oh, no. Cruising a second place victory here. And got 30. Oh, let's see if I can get that. So I picked up $60,000 to make your girl holler. I get paid to drive this wild truck. Any musical reference I'm going to make is going to be from the 80s. Possibly 90s, but let's not get crazy. $180,000. All right. Yeah, I should probably do Elite. I haven't covered Elite on Sprite Castle yet. Sometimes I don't, you know, it's easier to cover those quick go-to games, you know, like, I mean, like you could sit down and play, like Montezuma's Revenge is on my short list. Montezuma's Revenge I will eventually cover fairly soon. Because you can sit down and play it for an hour and you're like, okay, I remember how to play this and I remember all this, and, you know, it doesn't take that much to get into it. But like, I'd like to do Bard's Tale, but I mean, Bard's Tale, I mean, I'm going to have to play it for hours and hours. I mean, I get it that I don't have to beat the game to review it, you know, or talk about it. But, you know, so something like Elite, it just feels like I'm going to have to put a lot more time into playing the game to be able to do a fair review, you know, so. But I am on vacation, as they say. I am enjoying my holiday break. And so I've got time. If I've got time to play Super Off-Road this long, I have got time to play Elite. So I think you're talking me into it. You're talking me into it. You do get to a point in this game where third place is good enough. I'm embarrassed that I had to continue all those times. It's really not like me. I started talking about, you know, I kind of had this game on my mind the last few weeks. The Boat and Aaron, actually I think it was Boat and the Brent that covered the NES version of this, which is not great. I mean, it's okay for an 8-bit version, but you know, and it was on their show that they did about 4-player games. And so off-road on the NES supports 4 players if you have the 4-player tap. Oh. You know what, I'll just... How many nitro... Does it show me? Not if I'm maxed out, huh? You know what, I'll just save my monies. And, okay, what are we doing here? Okay, now this one's okay. I can stay to the outside. I don't have to take that shortcut. Oh boy. We got problems. We got 99 problems. And this truck is one. Okay, there's a 90s. Is that 90s? And you know what? I actually really like that song. And it's not because I love Jay-Z. Jay-Z's alright. But it's because I love Rick Rubin. And why do I love Rick Rubin? Because Rick Rubin was the co-founder of Def Jam, signed the Beastie Boys, signed Run DMC, signed LL Cool J, and then when he was done with Def Jam, he split off and did Def American, and Def American was his his split of the label. They had signed Slayer, they signed Danzig, they signed the Four Horsemen. If you've never heard the song "Rockin' Is My Business" and "Business Is Good," it's a classic. So 99 Problems, the video 99 Problems, which we will not be streaming. It is not for the children's. Oh, there we go. Features Rick Rubin riding shotgun in Jay-Z's car, which that's a funny sight to think of. Just rolling up on Jay-Z and Rick Rubin. I like how my car is just like bouncing all over the place. Alright, so this is Stereo Track. I like if you went to a concert, you'd be like, play that stereo song, bro! Here it comes, everybody. If they didn't, he's gonna finish beforehand, yeah. Oh, oy vey. Let's see, who all have we got in the channel today? We got strangers, we got friends. Aka Castor, a 10. How are you doing? You know what? I saw a 10. I saw you on another retro. I should have given you a shout out. I saw you on another retro Twitch channel the other day. Say, Being Cordana. Commander Root, how are you doing, sir? Is it F-Topayer? F-Topayar? I feel like I'm reading license plates in a light, and I'm like, F-Top. I see JP in there, Mitsuyama Speedster, 1010. Of course, Earl from the logbook.com. If you've not gone to the logbook.com lately and seen all the podcasts, videos, streams, logbook, Earl is doing it all from Odyssey 2, Apple II, classic games. And I see Wob Buffet 7-Eleven. That's not Mr. Volke, is it? I don't know. Alright, let's see here. Eventually I'm going to hit this level again where I can't win and I can't continue. And that'll be the end of this. Or my voice will give out or I'll run out of stories. Ha ha ha, just kidding, I never run out of stories. It does happen. I don't remember how I found this game. I don't remember if I found it on the Super Nintendo first, or if I found it on, I gotta remember that. I keep running into that stupid dead end down there. Alright, let's get up here. Gotta get on the inside track. There we go. There we go. As long as you can hit that little opening. I forget about it every time. This is on Commodore 64. And it's not bad, but it's not as good as this. You know, another racing game, maybe I'll do this on the Commodore 64 sometime. I hadn't thought about that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so so I need shocks, and now everything is maxed out. Shocks are maxed, tires are maxed, top speed is maxed, and now we just start filling up nitro. So everything that we win after this, until I die. Oh, look at the hay right there. There's a game that I've been wanting to cover for a long time called Racing Destruction Set, which was a game that I played some as a kid, but it has such terrible loading times. I mean, it's just really slow and painful to play, and it's not very fast, and so I would like to revisit that and just see how it stands up to my memories of playing it as a kid. And I'm playing it. I've switched controllers. You know, I have multiple controllers that I use for playing Commodore stuff, and most one-button stuff. I always use a Epix 500XJ joystick, but for Super Nintendo and things, I do have a big arcade pad. And this is not a Super Nintendo. This is a generic. Actually, I'll tell you where this joystick come from. This is a funny story. You'll notice there's no brand on it at all. There was an ad. I have not. Yeah, it is the PALS Colors keyboard here. I have not seen Shadow Switcher, but I will take a look at that. There was an ad last year, I think, on Facebook that was popping up, and it said, if you'll sign up for this thing, you can get a free controller, just pay shipping. And you're addicted to Diablo 3, my brother. They need Diablo 3 for Diablo, I say. They need Diablo 3 for Commodore 64. I would cover it. So there was an ad on Facebook that was like, join this thing, get a free joystick, and all you got to do is pay shipping. And they had an NES one, and so I went on there and I was like, you know what, I really want another Super Nintendo. I mean, so it's not Super Nintendo. It's obviously, it looks like Super Nintendo, but it's USB. And they had an NES one, and it said you could get up to 2 or something like that. So I was like, all right. So I clicked on the one, and then it was like, you want to add anything else? And I said, yep, I'll add the other one. And then I think shipping was $14.95 per joystick. And that's what pissed me off was, you know, you could throw 2 of these in a box. It's not going to double. You're not going to pay $15 shipping. You can ship it to the moon and back for $15. And it's very light. It's lighter than an authentic Super Nintendo controller. But it works. It's all right. And so, you know, I've got a million joysticks and a million adapters for all those million joysticks. But, you know, it works. All right, let's see what we got here. Is there any extras to pick up? Yes. Come on now. Hug the inside lane. That's the trick. I think in the new year, I'm going to move. You know, I've got my 3 LED lights back on the, like how I swerved all the way around to make sure I didn't get that money. The 3 lights in the background back there that are orange are supposed to match the torches that are on the screen. And I've got 3 more that are here right next to me, but you can't see them and they don't show up at all. You got to run a lot of riffs. You got your C64 back a few days ago. What was wrong with your C64? Were you getting it fixed, or? I just got my buddy Ice Cream Jonesy sent me. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened in this story. Years ago, he told me he wanted a Commodore 64, and I had a spare Commodore 64C So I mailed one to him. And he got it, and he said it doesn't work. And I was like, I tested it. In fact, not only did I test it, I let it burn in for like 24 hours. I just let it run, you know. He said, nope, there's no video. It's not coming on. And so he's had it for a few years, like 3 years. And so I just got my, I've had my Ultimate 64 for a while, but I didn't have a keyboard to put in it. And he said, hey, I'll send that one back to you if you could use the keyboard. So I said, okay. And so he sent it back to me, and I thought, well, I'm just going to turn it on and see what the problem is. And I turned it on, and it instantly worked. So I don't know if he had the video cable hooked up wrong, or like, I just don't know what happened. And I feel bad that he's had it all this time and that it didn't work. So I ended up just, I'm going to take the keyboard out, and I've got to clean it off, and you know, it's some of the keys you have to hit pretty hard. So I got to get in there and clean off the contacts, but I'm going to swap it into my Ultimate 64, which is behind me. The original power supplies on the Commodore 64, I mean, I don't know. And like I on one of my 64s, I still use the original power supply, but then I had one that, oh, that was smart. Come on, O'Hara. Oh boy. What? Apparently I've hit the victory champagne a little early on this track. I'm in trouble bad. Yeah, this one might not pan out, guys. Whoop. Okay, yep, 3 mistakes and you're out. That's never gonna work. No. So, I had a original Commodore 64 power supply, and I pulled it out of a thing, and it looked like somebody had stuffed an orange inside it. I mean, it was round on all 6 sides, man, and it was bad. I was like, I wouldn't plug that into anything. I just threw it away. Of course, you know, the original Commodore 64 power supply is filled with epoxy and stuff. They literally made it where you couldn't work on it. But Ice Cream Jonesy had bought one that it looks like a wall wart, and then actually it's 2 different wall warts, and I guess it's for the 2 different voltages for the C64. But it's all taped together and stuff, and I guess that's safer. It doesn't look as cool, but right, yeah, let me continue. But I think I'm winding down here. I'm starting to get tired of playing all Super Off-Road. But I have oh, now let's see. Now this one, see, this is one you got to pay attention. The numbers have changed. So let's go around. Alright, so we cut that zigzag. So, yeah, you know, there are certain things like capacitors and power supplies and stuff that if you love this hobby and you love the hardware, you know, it's just stuff you got to deal with. I was afraid at one time, you know, that all the Commodore 64s in the world would die and there wouldn't be parts to replace them. And of course now we have, you know, the Ultimate 64, and we have the C64, and we have ways to, you know, even emulation. Oh no, don't take my spot. Come on, dum-dum. Oh, and then I just blew it. Alright, yeah, that's it. Ultimate 64 is FPGA. So if you remember there was the Ultimate 1541, which was the, hey David, how are you? I just saw you sneak in there. We're just wrapping things up, but